So this is kind of a new development in the last week or two, in which Rubio and Cruz are going after Donald Trump's business record. Previously, there'd been a lot of public record stuff about there, a lot of reporting on it in the past, but the candidates had really shied away from it. So last night, for example, one of the big things they went for was Trump University, which is a for-profit real estate seminar company. You can't really quite say that it was an educational institution because the state of New York never authorized it to speak of itself as such. The overall situation is that Trump University was set up to offer what it promoted as sort of a education from Donald Trump. I believe the phrase was the next best thing to being the apprentice. So what the lawsuit is alleging is that Trump defrauded thousands of consumers people who really trusted him and who really thought that, if they adhered to sort of his system, they were going to do really well for themselves. So the idea is that he would have been taking advantage of kind of some of his biggest fans. So Donald Trump last night said that family members of the 9/11 hijackers had been escorted out of the country in the days after the attacks. We're not entirely clear what he was referencing, but what we think it was is that following the 9/11 attacks, members of the bin Laden family, and we're talking very distant relatives, not sort of his sister, were escorted or were allowed to leave the country, and under the George W. Bush administration. And there was certainly some questions about whether or not that was prudent and whether there's sort of been sort of questioning or things like that. But the U.S. really didn't push this. So, but that said, the idea that 9/11 hijackers had family members here and we just sort of let them walk isn't accurate, as best we know. So how much money Donald Trump has at any given time has been a remarkably difficult thing to pin down. Donald Trump himself will tell you that it is $10 billion plus. But you start looking into that, and there are certainly very reasonable estimates that would put it in the realm of sort of $3 to $4 billion. And honestly, it's very hard to actually determine these things without sort of a full access to his books. Now, his tax records would kind of help, but of course he hasn't released those. So in terms of the inheritance and whether Donald Trump basically got born on third base, as the saying goes, that there is some truth to that. He certainly did receive a significant amount of money to begin his career with his father, and perhaps even more than the money. His father sort of got him set up with construction contacts. He guaranteed debt on one of his first big projects, the Grand Hyatt in Manhattan. And in fact, his father at one point, when Donald Trump was really struggling in the casino business, sent a lawyer into one of Trump's casinos to buy $3.5 million worth of casino chips.